my boss, Maria Speth, and I flew out to New York with my client, and we met Colin Farrell at a law firm in a conference room on Easter Sunday. During Colin Farrell's deposition, he, through his lawyer, was trying to make an argument that this would be so devastating to his career, but then he was just in some movie where he was playing a guy that was exactly this kind of guy. So, does it really hurt your career that much? Our job was to kind of attack him. In fact, I remember preparing for it and going over his Rotten Tomatoes page, going over all his old movies, and we were trying to emphasize the point that the sex tape was not that out of character for what he was known for. And we were trying to show that if this video got out there, it wouldn't be devastating to him. After a couple of hours of back and forth in this deposition, I think both sides just said, why are we doing this? Colin Farrell was a really nice guy. And I think that was part of him being Irish. I think that was part of him being just a gentleman. He was a gentleman. He emphasized over and over again, this is just private. This is just not something that he intended the world to see. And it's pretty hard to look a guy in the eye and say, I don't care that you feel that way. He had a right to feel that way. It was his privacy. So I think we kind of broke Colin Farrell down a little bit, and I think he kind of broke us down. Maria Speth and Marty Singer went into a closet, literally in a closet. It chatted for about 10 minutes, and everyone was sort of whispering. They came back, and an agreement was reached to just settle. And Colin Farrell did yell at me, by the way, in the middle of the depot, because outside the building, there were a bunch of paparazzi, and he wanted to know if I had leaked the location, because nobody knew the location of the depot on Easter Sunday, of all things. I'm not going to try and do his Irish accent. Gingras, did you do it, man?
Did you do it?
Yeah. No, I did. No, I lied to you. The media wanted to know about this deposition, wanted to know where it was. And my client wanted the publicity. And it was sort of like, hey, well, if we tell you where it is, can you drop our web address in the story? And so I was asked whether that was permitted to release that information, and there was no court order or other reason not to release it. So I approved it. I didn't do it myself, but I approved it. But Colin Farrell was absolutely sure I did it.
In April of 2006, Nicole Norrain and Colin Farrell actually came to an amicable settlement and reached a deal in the suit over the video. We just don't know what the details of that settlement were, but we do know that it was never formally placed on DVD or came out on VHS.
I heard through the grapevine that Colin ended up, I think, paying him $1 million to have it not go up on the celebrity website. But as you know,
Colin, come on!
you can't unring a bell.
The tape did eventually get out. My recollection is a website called Dirty Colin, and they said, you know, we're about to release this tape, sign up here if you want to buy it or whatever.
Colin Farrell, that is a very memorable sex tape because it was the first time I saw one of those online. I don't know if it was ever pressed on DVD, but you didn't need the DVD because it was short and it was to the point.
It's a fun tape. You know, he's really kind and he's really enthusiastic.
He was very enthusiastic about the oral pleasure that he was going to perform on her. And there's a really famous line from the video where he says,
I could eat that for breakfast, for lunch, and dinner.
And I will never forget that.
I wasn't like a prude, but I wasn't super, sexually experienced at all. That was mind-blowing to me.
And I think for that reason, that tape kind of became this big discussion topic. It is even now. You can even find columns about it that women have written where they say he became a little bit of this symbol of what sex should be like, which also goes to show the impact of sex tapes, that it can go in that direction too, where people will take it, not unlike porn, as educational, which isn't great generally.
What was most surprising to me about this video was the fact that the woman in the video was a Black woman. And that was actually very, very shocking to me. Here I am, I'm a teenage girl, to see that this celebrity, Colin Farrell, who I had this huge crush on, would actually deign to date and be with a Black woman and not just see her, but also engage in sex with her, was a very, very big deal for me.
Do you think Nicole Norrain might have been the one who leaked the tape?
Well, it only could have been Nicole Norrain It could have been David Hans Schmidt. It could have been my client if he lied about doing it. He swore under oath that he didn't. It could have been Colin Farrell's lawyer. It could have been me, actually. Now that you think about it, it could have been me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I swear under oath, I did not release the tape.
Would you tell us if it was you?
No.
Once the settlement had been reached, it kind of seemed like maybe there wasn't so much bad blood between the two. Nicole Lorraine actually gave an interview to People magazine where she seemed very like tongue-in-cheek, sort of a wink and a nod towards it. She said maybe they would make another tape.